This video will go over the various points and motions that a delegate will be able to make once the speakers list has been created. All points and orders need to be made by raising their placard and be acknowledged by the chair, with the exception of a point of order or a point of personal privilege, if it pertains to the speaker at hand. The point of order can interrupt the speaker and does not need to be acknowledged by the chair. This will be made if the delegate believes that a procedural error has been made. A point of personal privilege is made when there is something in relation to the delegate's personal comfort, such as the temperature of the room or the speaker's volume, that is bothering them. It may only interrupt the speaker when it pertains to the speech, such as a delegate speaking too quietly. Delegates may also use a point of personal privilege to be added or removed from the speakers list. The last point that a delegate can make is a point of inquiry, which can be used in two instances. For example, when a delegate yields to questions, in this instance, points of inquiry are not said out loud. The chair will select nations to ask an inquiry of the delegate who yields to questions, which is essentially yielding to questions from the body. The second point of inquiry is a point of parliamentary inquiry, which is made when a delegate has a question to the chair about the rules of procedure. This is also known as a point of information at some conferences. The next point that a delegate can make can get a little confusing, and it's the right of reply. An acceptable situation in which the right of reply would be warranted would look like the following. A delegate points out how Germany's haircut is stupid, just like their policy. Or a delegate says that the US is stupid for being a nuclear power. The delegate was insulted personally. This constituted a right of reply. The delegate can then write a note to the chair, and the chair will announce whether or not the right of reply will be issued. However, if a delegate makes a comment stating simply whether or not they agree with or like a certain delegate's proposal, then that would not constitute a right of reply. Now, moving on to motions. We have a list to help delegates prepare to and become familiar with what generally shapes committee sessions. As soon as the chair delivers their opening remarks and any initial questions are answered, the chair will formally state that the committee is in session. At this point, the chair will entertain a motion to set the agenda topic, which requires another delegate to support the motion, called a second, and allows for two speakers for the topic stated and two speakers against it. The delegate who motions to set the agenda must specify which of the two topics under the consideration of the body that were specified in the background guides they would like to set the agenda to, but they are not required to speak in favor of their motion. If the motion fails, the chair will entertain another motion to set the agenda topic to the alternative topic specified in the background guide. After the agenda has been set, the chair will entertain points or motions. If no points of inquiry for procedural clarification is raised, they will entertain a motion to open the speakers list. This motion requires a second, but is not voted upon. It is up to the chair's discretion whether they want to make the speakers list a regular or a rolling one. In a regular speakers list, all those wishing to speak will raise their placards and will be recognized by the chair to speak in order that they were recognized. Once this list is exhausted, the chair will look for speakers to reinstate the speakers list, if the speakers list has not been closed. However, in a rolling speakers list, speakers would never be exhausted because once they reach the bottom of the list, it will just start over again. In both cases, a delegate who was not recognized by the chair due to being absent at the time or any other circumstance, they must send a note to the dais to be added. The chair has the discretion to choose the type of speakers list they want in the body, but delegates may also motion for a rolling speakers list, given that the regular exhaustive list is the default. The two most common types of motions are moderated and unmoderated caucuses. Moderated caucuses, or mods, are designed to steer debate into a specific area. For example, delegates discussing the discrimination of minority groups may make a moderated caucus to discuss religious discrimination specifically. When formatting the motion, delegates should specify the duration, and topic of the moderated caucus. An example would be a 5-1 moderated caucus on religious discrimination, where 5 minutes is the total length of the mod and 1 minute is the speaking time of each delegate. During moderated caucuses, delegates may not yield to questions or to other speakers. During this time, other points or motions are also not permitted. Once the motion passes, the delegate who made the motion will then choose to speak first or last in the caucus, and then the chair will select the speakers by asking those wishing to speak to raise their placards. Unmoderated caucus, or unmods, are often described as a suspension of the rule. Here, delegates may move around and talk freely, utilizing technology, if not normally permitted, to conduct additional research and begin working on working papers and amendments with their blocks. Delegates wishing to make a motion for an unmod must only give the overall duration and do not need to provide justification or a select topic. Delegates may motion to use unmods as Q&A sessions or for what are known as round robins or gentlemen's unmod. Q&A unmods are used as informal platforms for delegates to explain and answer questions on working papers and policy stances. Round robins or gentlemen's unmod is a controlled version of an unmod, in which all of the delegates remain seated and the body goes around the room to voice their thoughts on the topic at hand, whether it be on a working paper or specified focus on the debate at hand. Extensions may be made for both types of caucuses. However, they may not be extended by a period longer than the original length. For example, a 10-minute unmod may not be extended by 12 minutes, but a 9-minute extension would be in order. Now, say a delegate feels that they do not have enough time to make all of their points during their speeches, or that they initially allotted 1 minute and 30 seconds is too much time. The delegate can make a motion to set the time limit, and this is debatable with one speaker for and one speaker against, and requires a simple majority to pass. Delegates may also add or subtract guaranteed questions to a delegate's speech, allowing for delegates to be also able to answer one question if needed. Delegates may also wish to motion to extend or limit debate on a certain topic, and can do so via a motion. Here, the delegates must specify a time amount they wish to extend or limit debate by. Delegates may also control the flow of debate via motion to table or reconsider the topic. These allow delegates to end debate on the topic at hand or reconsider a topic previously tabled. This usually happens when the body moves on between topic 1 and topic 2 and under consideration. This allows a delegate to either guide the body to focus on a topic of their preference or avoid topics they do not wish to cover. An additional motion to accomplish this is to close the speakers list, which would end debate on a topic and force the body into voting procedure. Some committees may also allow delegates to invite an outside representative relevant to their topic to come speak to the body and answer questions. This can be a group leader or member or an interest group. Lastly, delegates can make a motion to recess or to adjourn. Delegates may motion to recess in between sessions for purposes such as lunch or to reconvene at the following day. A motion to adjourn is only in order at the end of the conference and is the last motion the body will hear in the year. At any time, the chair may rule a motion dilatory, which means out of order. The chair does not necessarily need to explain why the rule of the motion is dilatory, and this means that the motion will not be considered. Additionally, if there are multiple motions being brought to the floor at once, they will be voted upon in the order of disruptiveness. Pause the video to see the order of disruptiveness now. Although the majority of procedural motions require a simple majority to pass, others may require a greater threshold, such as 2/3, or also include having delegates provide speeches for and against a motion, in addition to needing a second. Delegates are encouraged to look over each conference's rules and procedure to ensure that they are aware of the differences in voting thresholds.